Hello, it's Andrew Clover. I'm here at the Edinburgh Festival with Mike Keat. Mike, can you describe the situation, please?
We're here at the Loft Bar. I'm so nervous when the camera's on me. Is this on?
What happens is Mike he performs about 6 of his favourite characters. Can you tell us a couple of the characters who you were being, Mike?
Yes, today we're doing a character called Rab Rinpoche, who's the 13th Dalai Lama. So not the current one. He's been entered. He's a burger van owner from Trent in East Lothian, who's been entered by the 13th Dalai Lama. So he's he's clearly a charlatan, but he's trying to make some money through his spiritual his spiritual leanings, which are clearly not that spiritual. Zen Baston, who is a street defense master, comes from me doing jiu-jitsu in my teens. I met a lot of really wrong guys in the dojo, sort of men who are quite hardcore in the dojo, but when it comes out, they're basically security doormen, these kind of dudes.
I must point out, this character, he's Dutch, so he comes across as being quite kind of hippie-like, but there's a moment whenever you've hit him, there was this look of...
Yeah, that's it, totally. It's a
look of sadism in his eyes just after he's delivered the kick to the ball.
In the liver. It's all this kind of stuff. He's kind of guy who seems very liberal, up for the fun, but when it comes down to the violence, I don't believe in an eye for an eye. I believe in 2 eyes for an eye. But that's just me. Woo!
Just show me the look. He'll just pretend to deliver a blow to him, and you'll see the look on his face.
Some of these things are from my big book of combat, Zen Baston's book of combat. Here's one for you, palm strike, bang! Dang-a-da-dang, straight in, right straight, it's all finished, woo! Straight in, sort of.
The weird thing about watching the show is because you see Mike do about 6 different characters, and he kind of gets possessed by them, and it's like each one of them have their own character. Now that one, there's just this look of kind of wild sadism just after he's delivered the blow. That's what I found was so amazing about it. But also, what I loved about the show is it's very, very joyful.
Thank you so much.
There's Barry Peters, who's would you describe Barry?
Barry Peters is like he's a 7 times winner Radio Personality of the Year, Halifax Hospital Radio. He's the creative director of the Skipton School of Dance. He's the CEO of Zany's nightclub Skipton and Corfu. He's basically a 40-something DJ in his late 40s who's become, a celebrity in his own environment, and sort of West Yorkshire, and he fancies himself as an all-round impresario, where really he's just a very substandard kind of DJ who does a bit of singing and tries to be a bit of an all-round entertainer.
He's basically a bit of a dick. I think we can say that about Barry.
Effectively, it's next level.
Is, even when Barry comes on and he starts singing the rocking out hits, you feel joyful. You want to be part of that. That thing, it's entertaining.
Oh, good. Oh, thank you, Andrew. Well, that's the idea, I think when I started doing Baz at the same time I started doing the Cuban Brothers about 12 years ago, and I used to make him a little bit darker, and it would be kind of like I would try and sort of mess my own gigs up in some ways, just for being a bit wrong.
Yeah.
But I found it to be joyful. It was a better way of sort of putting the character across, because it was like. There's a lot of comics and a lot of character comedians who use pathos and stuff like that, and it works well for them. But I think really for sort of my characters, it's better to be a bit up and a bit, they can be as wrong as you like and as left field, but it's about sort of trying to get that kind of reaction, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you've been doing the Cuban Brothers for 12 years, and it's been like an amazing gig. You've had residences in Ibiza nightclubs, you've gone parties for Elton John, you've done parties for Madonna, you've had... Has it been fun? It's been fun,
absolutely. It's been a really privileged lifestyle, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's like a sort of, I think we've been quite lucky. I'm just happy to be here. I mean, to be able to perform and sort of, arse about for a living it's pretty, it's a pretty privileged lifestyle. So I enjoy it, and to come back and to Gilded Balloon, I started doing 12 years ago doing the Cuban Brothers here, or 11 years ago. So to come back and do like more of a stand-up show, well, characters, but with stand-up links, it was a bit of a challenge because I'd never done stuff in first person,
Right.
And so it's good. It's but the Cubans have been really good to me and for me. I think we've had a lot of fun. Probably too much fun. It's been fairly debauched, but you know, it's good. It's a nice way to make a living.
What bits of the last 12 years, if you look back at the bits that have been most fun, what immediately comes to your mind?
I think I got to tour with James Brown, who's my hero, and we did like 6 shows with him as a support. So I had and I was able to take 14 musicians on tour with me. So it was a big live band, full horn section and everything. And to be sharing a stage with the Godfather of Soul was like, you know, you could have killed me. I was just like in my element. He's just, you. So you know, our first couple of numbers, he's in the wings, the thumbs up, just shimmying, just like that. You. I mean, that was just like blew my mind because he's you know, I make music as well, obviously with the Cubans, and so you know the kind of music I make, it's sort of. To me, James is a hero, and there wouldn't be any hip-hop, there wouldn't be any sort of, whatever you want to call it, soul music without him. And so that's been a big highlight, to be able to tour with him before he died, God rest his soul. I think we put on Festival on the Isle of Wight with Rob the Bank. I think, you know, being able to headline these festivals with the Cubans has been a lot of fun, and to be able to play in front of 50,000 people is like, you know, it's like a dream come true, you know. It's for certainly since I started in a little jazz cellar bar in Edinburgh. So it's nice to be able to do those kind of things. And there's been a lot of parties which, you know, sort of celeb parties, which don't really mean anything because it's like we do the same kind of show, whether it's to some postal workers doing Leith, or you know, it's the same kind of show. It doesn't matter that they're celebrities, but there's been some debauched carries on, you know, like I've been roughly fingered by Lawrence Fishburne. I've had Madonna smacking my bare arse, and there was almost a little bit of joy there as well. So I've had a lot of. I mean, I was able to narrate the Gumball movie with Burt Reynolds. I mean, to spend 48 hours in an edit suite with Burt Reynolds was kind of like, Jesus Christ. I've been in a car with Davey Hasselhoff for 8 days in the original kit car from Knight Rider. So I've had a charmed life, and it's been a lot of fun.
Mike, what are you going to be working on over the next year? What's exciting you? What's the next step?
Next step, I'm not sure, Andrew. I think I've got an album that comes out in October that I've just been working on all year. So that comes out. I'm going to write a new show to take care, because now this is done. It was you know, quite full on to try and get it ready in time for Edinburgh. And you know, if I'm being perfectly honest, I wasn't that confident at the start of the run. And I feel a wee bit better now. It's less. I'm not having to change my armour every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, to write a new show and just to try and build on coming, you know, from outside of wearing a dodgy moustache and doing characters, to try and, you know, just build up a wee bit more confidence with stand-up and telling stories as myself, because it's like, it's fun to do characters, but it's also fun to be able to stand up and tell, you know, do some anecdotes and stuff.
Also, when you're 70 years old, you can't really be doing the breakdancing stuff. At some point, you got to cut the moves out. There's some pretty extreme moves going on. Yeah, man. It's I've got arthritis in both my hips and my knees. But I've been dancing for 26 years, so. But I still enjoy it. As long as I'm able to do it, I'll do it, you know. Mike Keats is a man who has given himself to dance. But Mike, but whatever you do, though, I will be there watching it.
Andrew, thank you.
What might not be obvious from watching this is that Mike is one of the most loved comedians and respected and adored by all of his colleagues.
Oh my God.
Whenever like the Cuban Brothers do a show, it was like watching the Flight of the Conchords. Everyone would be piling in. You're a beautiful man.
Thank you, Andrew.
I kiss the hem of your dirty, sweaty pants, and I thank you for your interview.
Thank you so much, man. It's nice to be here. It's nice to see you. Yes, comedy.com or comedy.com?
ComComedy.
ComComedy. I've got it there. Look after each other. Have a great summer. It's Edinburgh Festival 2010. Andrew Clover, Big Mike signing off. Peace. Gracias.